Good morning, this is Eric with Riggs Garage. This morning I wanted to share some thoughts with you about how project cars die. I know nobody wants their project to die, but I wanted to share a few things with you from my experience that I've seen that really kills off projects. So, here's my project right now. Got a sad leaning Mustang. Quick story, back in 2004, when I was 16 or so, I went to go look at a 69 Mach 1, about the same color. The car was only $500, but it was in much worse condition than this. And to make things worse, somebody had just disassembled it down to the bare subframe, down to the bare shell of the Mustang. And as if they were expecting to restore the car. Obviously they didn't have the time or the money or the parts to restore it. So basically the car sat there, and what you got was the shell of a Mustang, and you got a huge project for 500 bucks. Now all the parts were there, but it was a very, very difficult project. You could tell somebody got in over their head. They took everything apart. I don't think they had a plan. They probably had no money. So, needless to say, I didn't buy the car. It would have been a gigantic project for me, and I would have never finished it either because I would have been in over my head as a high school student. People will get a complete car, they'll set goals that are unrealistic, and then they'll tear the car apart, and they'll end up with a giant pile of parts in their garage that they're gonna have to sell in like 10 years from now. They'll be sad about the project and they'll wish they did something different. They didn't know what to do at the start. So here's how projects die. Number one, what are your goals with the car? Goals and budget are definitely intertwined. So consider your budget first. What's your budget? If your budget is like mine, it's really, really low. So you need to use a lot of used parts. Use new parts only where necessary, like belts, hoses, gaskets, and junk like that. It's also nice to have new brake parts and newer tires. Now, your budget might be really high, and that's cool. So if your budget's really high, I would still get on an Excel spreadsheet and start line iteming all of the parts that you think you'll need. Talk to an expert if you're not an expert, and make sure that list is really correct. And then add like 30% at least. There are a ton of little things in there that add up, and they will absolutely decimate your budget. I'm talking fasteners, I'm talking paints, all the different things that you'll find as you tear into a car. It can get pretty crazy, so beware there. All right, the second issue here is getting antsy and just tearing a car apart, especially for those of you that have a low budget and not a lot of time to commit. If you tear into a car and you're not ready to put it back together, then we have a problem, and that car is gonna sit in your garage, maybe on your floor, and it will just sit. There's more than just time and money when you have a car sitting around in pieces that's not operational. There's a psychological aspect to it where you just get really sad with the project, you start getting tired of the project, it starts looking like more work than the car will be fun, right? So once the car looks like it's more work than you think it will be fun, then at that time, that's when a lot of people let go of their projects. I spend a ton of time on Craigslist and now Facebook Marketplace, since it seems to be killing Craigslist, and there are so many projects in there. They're priced low, but they're in shambles. The parts are all over the garage. They'll say, hey, it's a restoration project, lots of new parts, but you have to do all the work. Right now with the Riggs Garage channel, my goal is to make really, really fun drivers. They're not gonna be pretty in all aspects. I mean, the lines of this car are pretty enough in my opinion. I think with the right wheels and tires, fresh brakes and an engine, this is gonna be amazingly fun. Right now, this project could easily die. I could go into it and say, wow, this interior is disgusting. Let's go ahead and gut it now. You know what? That's free. I can gut the interior for free, but I'm gonna have to put it back together. That's not gonna happen. I'll get to the interior after the thing's running. I've had people approach me with good prices on 347 strokers, with good price on a 351 Windsor. That's great. Sweet deals. Hard to say no to, but right now, that would break the budget for me. So I'm gonna go with this 289 because I have paperwork that it was rebuilt. So it's gonna run really nicely and it's gonna be plenty fun for now. As it sits now, I'm gonna be driving a moderately quick Mustang. It's probably not gonna be fast, but it's gonna be driving and it's gonna stop. Those are my goals for this first phase. Phase 2 is gonna be a lot different, and I hope you follow us on Riggs Garage so you can see that happen. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button below and hit the subscribe button because I have a lot of fun Mustang footage and truck footage coming your way. Thank you.